In this video, we meet Mansfield Town supporter Nathan Edge and his guide dog Abby. The film begins with a snapshot of the crowd inside Mansfield Stadium. Then we are behind Nathan as he walks towards the ground before kick-off. Abby is looking excited as she is stroked by another Mansfield fan.
I can feel as we start approaching the stadium, Abby starts perking up even more. You could tell she's anticipating the day ahead.
The camera follows Nathan and his dad into the busy stand before kick-off.
And then as soon as you actually go through the tunnel into the stand, that's when the energy hits you.
Jubilant Mansfield fans go mad, punching the air, hugging each other and bursting into song.
The singing, you've got the banter between the two sets of supporters, because that's when you really feel that you're actually at a football match.
Nathan is stood talking to camera in an empty ground. Then he is kneeling by Abby and stroking her.
I'm here doing the thing that I love, the thing I've always loved, and I'm only able to do that because I've got Abby by my side.
Nathan and Abby stand side by side in an empty stand. The shot then jumps to an identical scene, but with the stand now full behind them as eager fans watch the game. As he describes his sight loss, shots change between Nathan stood by the pitch at Mansfield, him talking to camera in the stand, and Abby lying down with her chin on the ground.
I first started losing my sight when I was 6. That came from having arthritis in my knee the year before. The inflammation from the knee went to the back of my eyes and I was diagnosed with a condition called uveitis. My sight stabilised at about 20% for a while. However, when I turned 18, I then lost the rest of my sight pretty much overnight, really. I literally woke up one morning into complete darkness.
We are behind Nathan as he walks through Mansfield. He is then kneeling by Abby in an empty ground. Shots then show the outside of the stadium looming against grey skies, and Nathan stood with friends outside the ground.
You feel lonely, you can't see the surroundings, but it also excludes you from a lot of things in life, and that was no different for me with football. I sat at home on a Saturday, not being able to get to the match anymore, and I'd lost touch with a lot of friends and my number one hobby.
Nathan talks to the camera, then the shot changes to a close-up of Abby in the stand with her harness on, looking thoughtful.
Being able to actually get back into that, thanks to having a guide dog, just brought a sense of community back into my life.
We're outside the sports bar at Mansfield Stadium with Abby stood by Nathan and his dad, who's enjoying a pre-match pint.
Throughout the years, I've always attended football matches with my dad.
Nathan's dad points at Abby as he jokes.
It's a new signing.
It's been a father and son thing that we've always done. But when I lost my sight, it sort of felt like he was doing it as a carer rather than just me and my dad going out to the football.
Nathan follows his dad through the turnstiles as they enter the ground. They are then stood at the back of the stand, chatting about the game and joining in chants as Nathan follows match commentary on his headphones given to him by the club.
So when I was able to do that with a guide dog, it completely changed things. It felt like I was just back to myself, going out, enjoying it with him. It was a massive change to my whole match day experience. I felt like I was doing it independently. I felt so free.
A side-on shot shows fans, many in hats and gloves, watching the game in the upper tier of the stand, with the trees and hills of Mansfield in the background.
During the actual match, it's so different for me. I've attended as a sighted person, and now I'm attending as a blind person, and it's very interesting to do the comparison.
Fans clap along in the stands, as do Nathan and his dad in the background.
I'm picking up on all sorts of different sounds that I probably wouldn't have done before. I tend to sort of feel the atmosphere a little bit more.
Steam fills the air above frying onions as fans queue at a food van.
You walk past the food stores, you can smell the pies there, and that's when you know you're at a football match.
A long-distance panoramic shot shows the top of the Mansfield Stadium peeking above rows of terraced houses. Nathan is then stood with Abby at Mansfield train station before 3 locals from the market square smile at the camera in portrait shots.
Mansfield for me is my home. It's been somewhere that I've grown up. It's full of friendly people, very hard-working.
Abby is in her harness. Nathan pats her before they set off up the street, striding towards a tall brick viaduct in the town centre.
When I was given a guide dog, it enabled me to be free and build up a picture of the town that I love.
Back outside the stadium, a sign says, "The oldest professional football ground in the world." Then at the merchandise stand, fans chat to each other before we go back inside the ground to see Mansfield fans standing and cheering on their team.
The club have been fantastic in how they look after both me and Abby.
Nathan and Abby climb the steps to Nathan's seat in the stand.
Whenever we come to the matches, some games she sits with me in the stands. However, some games are a bit busier and a bit noisier, so I prefer to leave her in the ticket office.
Down by the offices, Nathan passes the lead over to a member of staff as Abby wags her tail and then grabs her plastic bone.
They're really good, they look after her.
Abby sits obediently by the pitch in the empty stadium before the camera zooms on her white guide dog's harness. She is then cuddled by a smiling Nathan as the film ends.
Abby, to me, well, she's just a life changer. Just having her by my side enables me to do so much, and I sometimes try to think about what it would be without her, and it's a scary thought, because I just know that not having her by my side, I would be so much more restricted, and I just don't think I would have the life that I'm lucky enough to have now.